everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. As German economy continues to stagnate, the German labor debate is now heating up, and this time it is coming straight from the top. In a move that sparked sharp national debate, Germany's Economy Minister Katharina Reiche has called for longer working hours, and also, in addition to that, she's calling for an extension of working life. What's her main argument? Well, she says that Germany is in such bad shape that its demographic crisis, which directly threatens economic prospects moving forward, leaves no other options. So let's dive into what she said, why it matters, and the firestorm that it caused across political and social lines. At the end of this video, I also want to discuss Friedrich Merz's take on the EU-US trade deal that was reached over the weekend in Scotland with Trump. He didn't hold back. Merz is very upset, and he sees further damage to Germany, to its economy, as the result of this deal. Recently, I uploaded several videos on German economy, and Germany's labor market does lie at the very core of whether Germany will even manage to withstand the crisis. The crisis that I would add, the crisis that is very much the result of its own choices. One thing to keep in mind is that Germany is Europe's biggest economy, so whatever we see in Germany is to be expected to a certain extent throughout Europe. In a recent interview with the Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung, Reiche didn't hold back. She stated that Germans simply aren't working enough, and she warned that the current balance between work life and retirement is simply unsustainable. Here's her reasoning. As life expectancy increases and birth rates decline, the traditional model of working 2/3 of adult life and retiring for the remaining third is no longer viable. In her words, and I quote, "Demographic change and increasing life expectancy make it unavoidable. Working life must be extended." Reiche didn't ignore the physical demands of some jobs, but she emphasized that many workers are both willing and able to work longer, and they should be encouraged to do so. She also took aim at international comparisons. For example, she noted that German workers put in significantly fewer hours than their American counterparts. While employees in the United States average around 1,800 hours per year, Germans actually clock in at just 1,340 hours per year. And that, Reiche argues, is a long-term threat to Germany's competitiveness. She warned that social security systems are under increasingly unsustainable pressure, and that higher labor costs, including taxes and levies, could drive businesses and jobs away from Germany. And she's right about that. She's perfectly correct. Energy costs will be Europe's downfall if not corrected soon. Although Ursula von der Leyen just said in Scotland that she does not want Russian gas, she does not want Russian LNG, and she prefers purchasing American LNG because it is much cheaper, believe it or not, than Russian LNG. Who knows where she gets her data from, but here's a quick clip. Take a look.
Some Russian gas and oil still in the European Union, which we do not want anymore. We want to absolutely get rid of Russian fossil fuels. And therefore, it is much welcome to purchase the more affordable and better LNG from the United States. And there, approximately, our estimation is that we can do 250 per year over 3 years.
In Germany, not everyone is on board with working longer hours. In fact, her comments sparked a wave of criticism, even from within her own party. But not all the reaction was negative. In the business world, for example, Reiche found quite a bit of support. For example, Rainer Dahlger, who is the president of the German Employers Association, praised her idea. He argued that those who react with outrage are simply denying reality. According to him, Germany is approaching a point where tough choices need to be made, and they are unavoidable, he says. Ignoring the demographic crisis is irresponsible toward future generations. In his view, the message is very simple. Germany must work more to improve its economic situation. Simple as that, right? Just work harder. While your government sends billions of euros to fight a proxy war in Ukraine against Russia, just work more. What's important is that Reiche didn't stop at labor policy. She also painted a sobering picture of the broader German economy. Despite recent optimism from some economic analysts, she cautioned that the economic slowdown is likely to continue. Germany had seen a short-term export increase earlier this year, but Reiche remains unconvinced that growth is stable. And there's another cloud on the horizon, which is international trade tension. She warned that rising tariffs could pose a new threat to the fragile recovery, emphasizing the need for the European Commission to strike a strong trade deal with the United States. Of course, that didn't happen. A strong deal would have been nice, but that, as we know very well, and as I explained in detail in the previous video, that didn't happen. All of this comes as the popularity of the federal government is plummeting in Germany. Led by Chancellor Friedrich Merz of the CDU, the ruling coalition is facing a steep drop in public confidence. According to a recent poll conducted for Bild, 56% of Germans are now dissatisfied with the chancellor's performance. Just 31% say they are satisfied. That's a sharp increase in discontent, up 11 percentage points since early June. Even more striking, 58% of respondents are unhappy with the government's overall performance. That's the highest level of dissatisfaction recorded since the coalition came into power. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz criticized the recent EU-US trade deal. He warned that it will cause considerable damage to Germany's economy and it will negatively impact the broader Eurozone. He also predicted that the deal would hurt the United States by increasing inflation and disrupting transatlantic trade. I would argue that he does have a point here. Despite his concerns, Merz acknowledged that the agreement was the best possible outcome under the circumstances. So effectively, Europe is capitulating and it admits that it is defeated. So where does this leave Germany? Germany is caught between economic pressure, demographic realities, and political division. The country is literally at crossroads. Should working hours increase to safeguard pensions and competitiveness, or are there smarter, better ways to address the same issues without forcing workers to delay retirement? That remains to be seen. Germany's economic failure is no longer a distant topic. It's knocking at the front door and it's not going away. Thank you so much for watching this quick video. If you found this breakdown helpful and interesting, make sure that you hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below if you think that extending working life is the way to go. I would love to hear from you. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye for now.